And we're live.
And we're live. I almost feel like it always surprises me that we're live.
It always surprises Nacho because we always rush to get as many links shared as we can out there to get as many people watching. But we've got 6 people watching already, and that's
God, that was
news.
fast.
Thank you, 6 people who are tuning in. You're going to be joined by dozens more by the end of the next 2 minutes, and it's a really exciting night.
Yeah. It's going to be a very exciting night for you, day for me. I'm Nacho, as my name says in the box. I don't know why I feel like I need to tell my name.
And I'm Trevor, as it says right here in the box as well. And we're Double XL, and this is call time. And this is all the information you can see on the screen that we've just told you all about.
Yeah, what else is on the screen?
We've got telephones. Why do we have telephones, Nacho?
Right, we have a telephone. We have telephones running around in space in what seems like one of these oil towers. But why do we have this? That's insane.
Cell phone. As the person who designed that's a cell phone tower, not an oil tower.
Right, whatever. And we have phones because this is a call-in show. Yes, it is. You heard it right. It's a show where you can actually just call in and talk to us. We usually have a theme, or like some of our listeners like to call it, our dilemma of the day. In this case, we'll have plenty of dilemmas. But so yeah, you can just call in. We'll have a link in the comments wherever you're watching. If you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, there'll be a comment, and in that comment you'll see a link to. Yeah, just click the link. Come to our studio.
Yeah.
And
do not hesitate. We don't need to know you. We don't need to be friends with you. In fact, it's almost ideal at this point that we have no clue who you are, because
we would love to not know you.
Yeah, and it's just a chance to connect with people just anywhere out there on the planet. Really, I mean, we're separated by an ocean at the moment, and there's no boundaries really for call time, I think.
Yeah. You don't even have to be a person. You can be a place or a thing. We've received all sorts of calls, Trevor. Maybe let's tell the audience, we've received calls from famous people like Justin Timberlake,
Robbie Robertson of the band.
Right. We received call from a turtle, and we have a huge following that has already resulted in we have an open poetry competition and a bunch of other stuff that I hope you guys find out during the show. Yeah. But so there's 2 very specific things about our show that we should probably talk about early. One is the theme, and the second is our guest for tonight.
Yeah. So do you want to introduce the theme first, or should we just get our guest on and then we talk about the theme?
I think the guest. Let's go guest first.
Okay. So I guess how do we introduce a person who, requires no introduction? They are
how do you do that?
The funniest person in Berlin. That's the only way I can introduce this person, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. I think a great friend, the funniest person in Berlin, and probably the funniest person I know, beyond boundaries of geographical locations. So welcome to the show, the amazing Cliff.
Oh, that was
Caroline,
way,
Clifford.
way too much. It was
Oh,
too
that's what
sweet.
we're all about here, Caroline.
Funniest
We're
person
all
in
about
Berlin.
that.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah,
so
but
crazy.
you know it's true. You can
I'm
just
not
blink twice if you
verifiable.
know it's true.
It's not verifiable.
You're right. It's not verifiable unless Nacho scientifically you can come up with something that we can verify this with.
I mean, I just think that I would
No.
get more work if that was the case.
Yes, the comedy capital of Germany. It's.
Yeah.
But thank you for joining us.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, it's a pleasure having you. Especially, I think when we came up with this topic to chat about, I think I don't know if this is a good thing. Is this an insult?
Yeah, it's like
I don't
who
know, but
complains
like
a lot? Like, yeah.
yeah, like you came absolutely to mind as a perfect guest for
Curmudgeon.
this topic. And
Yeah.
I have to say, maybe is my internet laggy?
I think maybe a little bit because I'm noticing that anytime either Caroline or I start talking, you kind of like.
I feel like
Stop.
somehow it's
Right.
my fault, and I'm sorry.
No, I think Caroline, we're okay because we're in the same
Yeah,
relative
time zone.
geographical area. But Nacho, it's okay. If you just start talking, we'll both stop, and then it's gonna be fine. And why don't we just get started by introducing the topic tonight, which is tiny gripes, teeny tiny gripes.
Yes, this is
small.
Yeah, not tiny grapes, just tiny
No.
gripes.
Well, that
Like
would actually be a
pretty,
tiny gripe. That would be a tiny gripe of mine because those really small ones on the vine, they're gross, right? No one
Yeah.
likes those.
Probably too sour. Probably
But
not
some
right.
Some people say they are like the sweetest ones, right?
No, they're
The tiny
absolutely
ones.
wrong, and they're liars. Those people, because that's
Yeah.
not true. It's the opposite.
The
What's
bigger
true.
the bigger the grape, the sweeter the fruit. I think is what we.
Wow, that's it. We got one down already.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. I think like why did we call it tiny gripes? Because like we don't want to listen to your major gripes. Like we all have major gripes right now. It's not it's not been great. There's a lot of major stuff to talk about, but like forget about that. We want to hear your petty, small, tiny gripes. And even like I'd be very interested in hearing like if people call in, like hearing gripes that they had before this whole shit started that they even forgot about. Like I would love to hear what was your people's pre-COVID gripes.
Like having too much to do. My calendar was just full. I never had a moment to myself. That would be a gripe that's gone out the window for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Like feeling sad about traveling outside of Berlin just because like you feel you miss on stuff. Like, oh my God, I missed that show.
No, there's nothing to miss anymore. Nothing happens that's new. So we can't possibly deal with these major problems. I think we have to think really, really small.
Also, isn't specificity a great comedic tool?
From the wizards to
I don't want to
the
get
students.
too. Shut the fuck up. All right.
Let's see. I see a comment here, and we have a comment that says, "Yep," and I'm not sure what they're commenting in response to, but
Specificity.
We agree very much.
Yeah.
Anyone want to start us off? Anyone have a tiny gripe?
I mean, like
I have a tiny gripe from.
Nacho, when you start talking, just don't stop talking.
I'm trying to figure. Yeah.
There's a turtle in the stream.
But like,
yeah, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
All right.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. I'm trying to fix this, but like, let me say, like, I just had a tiny gripe. Like, I was walking outside on the streets. Here I live in Boston, and Americans don't have garbage cans. I don't know, just a tiny gripe. I was walking, I guess, like 5 miles with like an empty paper coffee mug, and like with nowhere to deposit it, and like it was incredibly annoying. Like, get your shit together. Like, there's benches everywhere. Like, you need some garbage.
So you mean like publicly? Like, no, there's no public trash cans. Like,
Yeah.
in this...
There's no
Yeah,
public
yeah.
trash cans. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a U.S. problem, absolutely.
Well, I
Tiny
mean,
gripe.
like Berlin's not like super good at that either. Like when you find one, it's just like completely overflowing, and there's all
Oh,
those
yeah.
little like dog shit packages at the bottom.
Right, but there's the orange like trash cans. They're just like the icon of the
Yeah.
city in some way. Like
Yeah.
there's the perfect place for collection of beer bottles, like and
Yeah.
like on the bottom and like stuff. So I think like and probably like hidden drugs and stuff. But yeah, it's there. It's present. Here it's like holy shit. There's no garbage. Anyway, that's my gripe.
Yeah. I guess I can go. My very, very tiny gripe is that I'm desperate for like record stores to open, because I have some records here that I have now listened to every single one of them too many times, and I'm sick of my own music. So my tiny gripe is that I'm sick of the things that I've collected, and I desperately need to get new things because I am sick of my own taste, I guess.
Well, congratulations on such a pretentious gripe.
Yes. Well, I think that's. I mean, when we talk tiny gripes, there's a cheap tiny gripe, and then there's the really expensive tiny gripes, of course, that are very old vintage tiny gripes, kind of.
Yeah,
And then,
sure.
of course, everyone's looking for the middle of the menu tiny gripe.
Yeah.
I want to,
okay.
at this time, before Caroline gets in her story and I'm continuing talking because I know that I should, I want to highlight this comment from YouTube that says, so true. Again, we have no idea what they're talking about. Just like with the yep comment. So
we're gonna bring that one back over and over again.
Yeah, that says yes or so true or not at all. Like we're gonna keep highlighting.
Is this like canon? Is this
even though we have no idea what it means? Yeah. Anyway, so Cliff, we want to share like a recent gripe?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is like you're right. I am a good person for the show because I can think of like 5 or 10 just from the last 30 minutes. So
just from the last 12 minutes, I think.
Yeah, just looking around. They're just very present. I was just we were watching the show WandaVision, and no spoilers at all. But what occurs to me, and maybe this is just to do with the sheer amount of stuff that I'm watching now because it's lockdown, or just to do with sort of becoming like, I don't know, just older and just wanting to see happy things. But I have this overarching feeling that I just want like TV and movies to not really have any stakes anymore. Like I just think there's this need for high stakes. So you're just enjoying this wonderful world that they've created, these characters, these relationships. You're really into it. You're really rooting for the protagonist and hoping that the antagonist will change. And yeah, they just have to put in something really sad that just I just don't think that's necessary. I think there's already enough sadness without my,
So your tiny gripe is the art of dramatic storytelling. You're no longer interested in dramatic storytelling.
It's perhaps a larger gripe, but it was a very recent one.
I can relate to this. I understand this too, I think.
Yeah. But having said that, I'm also becoming like one of those women that's now getting into true crime. So maybe that's like satiating my like stakes, and then I want my fantasy to be like pretty much flat line of emotion.
Have you ever watched Norwegian slow TV? Any of these things? Do you know this?
No, but my mom loves it, so I guess it's on the cards for me.
Yeah, Norwegian, for any people out there who might not be aware, Norwegian slow TV is things like 6 hours of a camera put on the front of a train going from.
Oh, that's not what I. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's not what I thought.
Oh,
I thought you meant like Norwegian crime.
Oh, like Scandi.
Yeah.
What are those called?
Scandi
Noir.
Yeah.
Scandi
I just
Noir,
like yeah. But that I saw the train thing you're talking about in a club in Leipzig. And it was like
nice.
And everyone was just stoned and just the crowd went wild when like a train went through a tunnel or something. It was absolutely encapsulating.
My God. It sounds like
my God.
something right out of Snowpiercer. Like,
Sure, it's like my ideal Snowpiercer. It's like Snowpiercer without the stakes. It's just a train, and everyone's having a nice day.
Yeah.
Well, like Snowpiercer in a club would be quite a fun setting. Imagine like you go through all these different rooms and they different levels of elite inside a club. That's an interesting mapping.
All the way to
Nacho,
the baby
I think we have someone who agrees with you. I mean, in the comments, it's hard to tell what Richard Killian says. Indeed.
Yeah,
So,
There's
thanks,
been quite a conversation in YouTube. Yadijitsu said so true. To which Mini said that's exactly what I mean. To which Amanda King said word, and Katinskaya said exactly.
Really
we love
that
our audience communicates. Yeah. Or chatters.
Yeah, or the Discord is also blowing up, I've heard, and people are. Should we maybe take our first caller?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So maybe let's take this call of a previous caller to the show. Let's give no more context to this, but like, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm gonna click it, Trevor.
Okay.
A turtle. Hello, a turtle.
Hello?
Hi.
Yes. Hi. You're live on call time. Hey.
What? What the hell?
I'm sorry, Turtle. What's
sorry?
Wrong? I called in about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. We remember. A turtle called in our dating theme show. Right. Yeah. Your first call.
And you hung up on me.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's just. I think we reached the end of the call, if I remember correctly. I apologize if maybe there was a misunderstanding.
It took me all these 2 weeks to call back.
Do you mean physically or emotionally?
How dare you?
Sorry.
Wow.
Well, sorry.
What do you mean it took you? Oh, you mean like we hung up on you and you tried to call us back immediately, and the result of that like just happened now?
Yeah, I'm a fucking turtle.
Okay, don't get sassy on us, turtle. To people listening or watching right now, this is a turtle. It seems like we've been plagued recently in our episodes with certain style of calls where people just like take a really long time in saying what they want to say, and one of them is a turtle here on the line. Turtle, do you have any tiny gripes?
Hey, we're really happy to have you on the phone.
Yeah, I've got a tiny gripe.
Please.
Sure.
When people hang up on you mid-conversation on a phone call, that really burns my biscuits. That really grinds
sorry. I thought you
my gears.
So you can see how this is difficult for us, right? Like, I think you can understand that, Turtle. I mean, I'm trying to be really respectful here. It kind of like it really, like I mentioned in this, I think last week or 2 weeks ago to you, and maybe last week to our other caller who had a very similar speaking style to you. That we're doing the show live for the Comedy Cafe Berlin right now, and they have like the standard they have for us to keep this thing just ripping with jokes the whole time. It's like this call doesn't really work with that.
How dare you?
If I may, do you get hung up on a lot, or was it sort of a one-off of this show?
I get hung up only by bigots. Touches your spouse.
Wow, that's
Wow.
It's
Okay.
harsh.
I don't know.
that's quite an accusation. Turtle, I mean, like we actually love receiving your call. Just like anybody's call, we'll just take it and we'll have a good chat. Maybe like if you're gonna continue calling our show, we should like come up with like a system. You can just make your calls a bit shorter. Yeah, you can just call in, say a couple of words just for that show, and we'll continue next week.
Yeah, Turtle, actually, this is a good question. Are you improvising these calls or do you script these ahead of time? Because maybe you can script them out and right away you just call and you get it done.
This is scripted.
It's scripted.
That's cool.
This is scripted. I started writing this a month ago.
Oh my God. How did you know we were going to do the
That's
tiny
crazy.
thing?
Yeah.
A turtle knows.
Well, I mean,
turtles are wise.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, so we learned something today about turtles and a turtle. This turtle that calls us. Yep.
We may be slow downstairs, but we're smart upstairs.
Well,
Fast
Turtle, you got a big ha 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 with an extra H at the end. So that was really good.
Yeah. So, thank you, I guess. And maybe like try to like since you're writing it down, like you have like a bunch of weeks to just nail it just in the first few
Anyway.
words.
happy.
My favorite kind of date.
Okay. So that
Okay.
I hung up on the turtle because he was going off topic there, so we didn't really want that.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, a turtle.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
He'll
like
call
pretty
back
much
in
the whole.
2
That's
weeks,
pretty much the whole show.
Yeah. We ate a lot of time with the turtle. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Caroline.
20 minutes of turtle. But just to remind the audience, our topic today is not dates. It's tiny gripes. Tiny gripes, yeah. From the present, from the past. Please call in and talk about your tiny gripes. Do we have any interesting comments?
Too much to look through. Maybe we just bring on our next caller. Joining us on the stream, we have Trash. Welcome, Trash. Hello, Trash.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yes,
Hey.
we can hear you.
Yeah, I know this is a very first world problem little gripe here, but I cannot stand this thing about Berlin. They never put enough cheese on my pizza.
They never put enough cheese on your pizza.
Never
Enough
put enough
cheese.
cheese on my pizza. And I guess I'm specifically talking about the kind of shitty chain pizzas. I know there's some great kind of fancy sourdough pizza places in Berlin, but I'm talking when you just want like a cheap, like a combo, like a 2 liter of Coke and a pizza and a cookie. Like I pay extra for double mozzarella every single time, and there's just no consistency there. I feel like I'm paying for nothing.
Can you name and shame?
Domino's.
Domino's. Yeah.
Domino's.
It's all crust and no cheese.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I wonder if the problem is that when you order the extra cheese, that the person who's like putting that on has to start to wonder how much cheese that means. I think.
Right.
I think they're just on autopilot. I just think they're like they don't read any of the extras or anything. They're just like it's just like generic freaking pizza zombie.
Yeah, sometimes I thought about because you can add comments. I think it's for like what doorbell you have or whatever, and I've been so tempted to write nicely, please notice that I've paid for extra mozzarella. And I've been tempted to pay for triple mozzarella, but I'm just afraid it's going to be triple a waste of money.
Right. I feel like that's the biggest problem there. The incentive structure right there is they got you. It feels like they're, even if it's double mozzarella, they're not going to put enough just in case you might want to do triple mozzarella next time.
Yeah.
I think you should order triple mozzarella and like let us know what happened because, yeah, I want to know. I want to know what happened.
The last time I ordered Domino's and I did my usual thing of like paying for the double mozzarella, and I took a photo of my pizza because there was no cheese on it. No cheese.
Oh my God.
And I was this close to sending an email, and then I was like, I don't want to be that person. But yeah.
But I do like this idea
of
of
a lot of anxiety because I think, okay, I'm going to commit the extra euro 69 cents to get this double mozzarella, and then I just get really stressed, and then as soon as it arrives, the first thing I do is open the box to just like evaluate the cheese distribution, and it's always disappointment.
Yeah, this is a good tiny grape. I can understand this.
I feel for you.
Yeah.
On that one.
I mean, if you're looking for a solution, you can buy a whole block of extra mozzarella to have at home. Like I don't know if they sell like the semi-dried kind. I think they do.
Mm-hmm.
And then boom, you got endless source of cheese.
That's true.
I have a bottle of anchovies at home for a specific problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I do have a jar of jalapenos for that reason.
Yeah.
And an additional pizza-related gripe is anytime I order delivery, and if I order a drink and the drink is room temperature, like what are you thinking? What kind of insane I'm not buying this for later. I'm buying this for now.
And clearly not a drink that was refrigerated and then got to room temperature. You're talking put a room temperature drink into the bag. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this comes under a bigger banner of like just, you've gone through this trouble of like, rather than doing it yourself, paying someone to do it. So you do like expect a freaking certain level of service, and then not like when you go to a fancy cappuccino place or whatever, and you're like, today I'm going to spend like €3 on a coffee. And it's just like really standard. I mean, these are real first world problems, but
they're tiny grapes. Teeny tiny.
Yeah, they are tiny grapes.
Yeah. We have Nina in the comments says that Reva Pizza is the best.
That's true. That is true.
What specifically? I mean, Caroline, you're quite a grocery store enthusiast. So, what is a Reva Pizza? Is it not Dr. Oetker?
We all know that Dr. Oetker is fantastic, like across the board. And I'm really ashamed that I can't remember the name of the brand. But there is this specific Italian brand that you can only get in Reva that is just, and I think it's just so good. Like I would put it on a par with like Berlin takeout pizza, which is not saying an extraordinary amount. But yeah, just the base and But yeah, I wish I could remember the name of that. I just know the box, so I just grabbed the box, and now I can't remember what shitty faux Italian name it has on it. But yeah, our Rave is just a great store, but we're not here to talk about things we like.
No, this is not a pizza and grocery store chat, although it's turning into one. But Trash, thank you for your call.
Anytime.
Yeah, I hope you have a good night.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Well, that was getting a little risky of turning into each caller almost changes the topic of the show entirely. It seems like at this point.
Well, that's the thing with gripes. It's a very personal thing, and the topic can be like very, very diverse.
Yeah.
What is more human than gripes? I mean, do animals really have gripes? They just
That's true.
They just have like instincts.
I mean, I think this is to be human is to complain. Isn't that like a Yiddish thing or something like this? I remember my grandma saying this maybe once.
Let's hope so.
But let's think about it. Like, don't you like suspect cats have gripes? Like they hold gripes on humans. Like, oh my god, these humans today, like.
I mean, that's their face, isn't it? Their face looks like it is full like judgment and what the hell are you? Why are you looking at me? Why are you touching me? I mean,
exactly.
I don't think anyone has more gripes than my cat, who wakes us up by biting our feet and hands. That's
But we don't know. We don't understand yet the scale of these gripes. I think we can't classify them as tiny because we don't understand the cat brain.
I think we project an awful lot onto these creatures, but like really, it's just like hunger, boredom.
Yeah. We have a great comment in the chat from Cameron Rappaport. Nice. Thank you, Cameron.
It's really blowing up.
Also, we have Johannes Simka says Gustavo Gusto equals best takeout pizza. I'm assuming takeout means frozen pizza.
As opposed to the health insurance.
Yes, best
Like,
health insurance
prescribed.
pizza. Gustavo Gusto. Takeout presents this Gustavo Gusto health insurance. We have a couple callers, so we can just keep going through.
Right, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's welcome to the show Tracy. Tracy, hello. Hi, welcome to Call Time.
Tracy, you're muted.
You might be muted.
Yes.
I was writing a thing about pizza. You know, the only good pizza in the world is in New York City. If you're not in New York City, you're not getting. Okay, that's not a great. That's just a fact.
That's a fact. Okay.
I have
right.
a gripe. I have a gripe about that fact.
Coming in very hot with the pizza talk here. All right.
Yeah, my gripe is I lived in Berlin for a while, and I live in the States here in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and I can't get a doner kebab anywhere. Like, I can't get them.
Some
Yeah.
might say that's a good thing.
No, I would. After living in Berlin, I would find it very hard to not be able to get a kebab somewhere. Where did you say you're calling from?
Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Virginia Beach, Virginia. Yeah, there has to be a great kebab shop somewhere in the vicinity of Virginia Beach. I have to believe it. I have to just imagine that that's true.
I think what you have though, because I don't know if you guys know Drew, he's a comedian here, but I remember him posting when he was back wherever the fuck he's from, and it was like $20 for a doner kebab. You know, it was just like special Berlin. You know, it was like a specialist food as opposed to it being $2.
Yeah, I think that was New York City where it was $20.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably New York City.
Right.
Quite possibly.
But I get what you mean. I'm living in Boston, and also like I would say like getting a good doner kebab it's almost impossible.
Oh, but you can get
you
doner
know,
kebabs.
Yeah, you can, but like not a good one, right? You cannot get the lamb like good like Berlin doner kebab, right? And that's I also miss that. So yeah, that's a gripe.
I think food is maybe the primary source of many people's gripes. Is what?
Yeah, weird, isn't it?
probably.
I guess we sort of do it so many times a day, right?
Yeah, not
easy
enough,
to get
not correct,
Yeah.
not the right temperature,
Not the right price.
Yeah.
Do you get gyros a lot in America? Would you be more likely to get a gyros?
We do have them, but it's not the same.
Not the same.
It's not the same, no. But we do have those, yes. I can get those in Virginia Beach, but no.
It's just not the same. Doesn't have that stench.
Yeah.
That's great. Thank you so much, Tracy.
You're welcome.
Thanks for calling in, and join us anytime. Thanks.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of hope we get some other ones other than food, just because.
Kind of like improv suggestions, isn't it?
Yeah, we get the
Right.
donor chat lit up in the comments here. So I have a weird show Berlin. Be a donor and get Tracy a donor. Very funny weird show. Very funny.
Very funny. Yeah, this is a funny show. They're doing a show next week, I think. Maybe this is part of their promotion. But yeah, I wish we could send Tracy a proper donor, but
You
like
could send it to him.
Yeah. Tracy, if you're listening and you want to comment, give someone contact information. Maybe someone in the chats will kindly find a donor to send your way. So
That's something I can't believe we don't have. Is like you can send something sort of frozen to people, you know, and then they just defrost it in their own home. That would be amazing. That would change the world. That's my gripe that doesn't exist.
well, just highlighting a comment from Katinskaya here, a very active chatter. It really is. We don't know what,
It really
but
is.
yeah, it really is. Right. Anyway, yeah, we have a bunch of callers like piling up in the line, like very excited about this. We have yeah, let's go to our next caller just straight up in line. Let's add to the stream our friend Josh. Hey, Josh.
Hey, how are you?
Hi.
good. How are you?
I'm good, except that I was like, all right, what do I have in my tiny gripes? And like, it took me a minute to compile a list of 10.
Yeah.
10.
We're kindred spirits. Yeah.
You did a lot better than us so far, though.
Wow.
So I'm just gonna go through these.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know how much I want to talk about each one of them. But,
Yeah.
I just got a Disney Plus subscription, and their place shifting is a piece of shit. Like if you start watching somewhere and then you stop and then you want to start watching again on your phone, it just starts the episode from the beginning, which is like,
bad.
Come on, guys, get your shit together.
You want a seamless media ecosystem.
Yeah, I mean, this is not. I could do this. All right. German email threads. Do you know? Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know. Maybe it's because that's not true. Actually, for some reason, whenever German responds, it adds like AW into it. But then particularly when you're responding with bureaucrats or someone like an official business, it just keeps adding that. And so it doesn't actually properly thread. It just starts a new chain each time with a new AW colon in front of it. And so I literally was emailing back and forth with someone at the fucking Zollamt, kill me now. And there were by the end of the thread, there was 5 AW colons in front of the person's response. And I don't understand.
That just reminds me of like getting a photo or something from the family thread. It's sort of like the old people internet, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Like you're like, oh God, what is this shit?
Forward. Yeah.
Yeah.
That like I for some reason I've been inoculated to that, but the German version of it just drives me up the wall. But it's not. Who gives a shit? It's a tiny gripe.
It also really like I mean, if you don't know what the AW is, you just think people are going, "Aw."
Yeah, exactly.
But we love those tiny gripes. Keep them coming.
Keep them coming. Rapid fire.
This is
borderline. I feel like some people are going to take way more offense to this than they should. But it's a tiny gripe to me.
All right, wait, hold on. Everyone in the comments, brace yourselves, all right?
The German obsession with ice cream is fucking insane to me, and I don't understand it. I mean, like beyond the cliche of like, oh, it's gone into the double digits, like it's literally 11 degrees, so we can start having ice cream again. But I have kids, and there's just something I just don't understand. Like, if I give my kids ice cream anytime after 3:00, they are insane people. And they won't go to sleep like ever. But all their friends, like all their friends' parents are like, hey, give them ice cream anytime. They come back with like 3 scoops of ice cream. It's like no big deal. And then of course my kids get jealous and they demanding me for ice cream all the time. And anyway.
Yeah,
really
I don't get cold in ice cream.
Topic gripes. Yeah. Well, never mind that. But like ice cream's not good if you have it every fucking day. If you have ice cream every day, it's not good anymore. It's not.
That's true. It's like old people food.
Yeah, it's like it's not enjoyable. All right,
Josh. I think this is the conversation you need to have with your kids. I think you need to sit them down and say ice cream is not good for you if you have it every fucking day.
Are you serious? That's what I say every time. And then they go, but we haven't had it every time. And I'm like, oh, you got me.
We didn't have it yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay. We got a couple more.
Maybe you should just maybe it's like when you want to get someone to stop smoking and you just like make them smoke a box of cigarettes and just like get them real sick on ice cream, and cigarettes.
I don't know. Yeah, I should.
Just make them nauseous.
For every ice cream I give you, you also need to smoke.
That's the flake, darling.
Yeah, just so they have a horrible association with it.
Yeah.
It's great.
That's a great idea. Thank you, Cliff.
Okay, 2 more, Josh. 2 more tiny grapes.
All right, fine. You know, like, whenever you buy a bag of oranges or clementines here, I don't know what it is, but magically there's always one of them that goes rotten way before the other ones. Like by the time you even get home or the next morning, there's one. It's like they purposely put an orange that's about to go bad in every bag. You know what I mean? Like please tell me this is somewhat universal.
I think I know
relatable.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I had a thing with strawberries the other day. A box with like, I don't know, like.
Yes.
I won't even buy strawberries anymore. I won't even buy them.
One of them was like a nightmare.
And it's always like, it's not like full, it's always covered up enough that you don't see it. I'm pretty sure they do it on purpose.
I think they do it on purpose. I think they actually inoculate them.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So on that topic, I tweeted about this recently actually, but
Oh, good. No, we'll pull it up on the show.
Yeah. We're a family of 4, right? So you'd think we wouldn't have this problem, but every time I buy a thing of pesto sauce, and it's like they're tiny to begin with, but you can't use all that pesto sauce in one meal, right? Even for a family of 4.
In
But how
one
many
4-person pasta, I would surely use a jar.
That's an insane amount of pesto.
Okay.
I use like half a jar. And then
I
you
think
got
half a jar is
or
more
dry
than
pasta.
probably.
No, I'm telling you, it's not. I'm telling you. That's too
But
much
what's the problem
pesto
with the
to use
half a
whole
jar, Josh? I'm not
Well,
sure I
then
understand the gripe here.
because it goes bad within a week. And he's gonna have
I
like
know
a
what you need to
pesto-
do. I know what you need to do, though.
Okay. Yeah.
You need to pour oil on top of the remaining half of the pesto.
Of course, my
Oh.
friend. You just
Or
cover
freeze
it
it.
with
I'm
oil.
sure it freezes.
No,
Everything
just
I
cover
didn't-
it with oil.
Covered in oil. All right.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm really glad I called in.
There we go.
Well,
I'm
It's
glad
turned
you
into
did too.
food advice.
Can
saved
share
a
the-
life.
yeah. In fact, for the rest of the show, anyone have any problems? Like in my kitchen, I have this weird thing with this one
Yeah.
spice. What do I do with the
This
spice?
is potentially life-changing. It's not life-changing, but it's going to save me a couple bucks a month.
Yeah,
Thank you, Nacho.
That's great. That's what
Yeah.
we're here for, Josh.
yeah, just covered in some oil.
Okay,
And
Josh,
is
thank you so
Is
much.
this pesto hack real from Amanda King?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a real.
Yeah,
right.
anything.
I
Like,
also
Oil
say
is
that
the topic, guys. It spoke to my heart.
I also say
Thank
that
you.
you can freeze it. You can
Right.
for sure freeze it.
You can for sure freeze it, or you can pour a little oil over the top so that it's
Or
covered.
use it.
Or use it all.
Anyway,
I'm
Josh,
telling you, man. A
thank
little
so
jar
much.
like that.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you so much. And let's now that he's gone, let's put this comment like, who hates on ice cream? And he gripes more like massive cringe. The
Thank you,
first
man.
comment we get that is actually related to the show.
Wow.
Then we also have other comments like
Oh, yeah.
wow, which that makes sense again. Anyway,
Let's,
like oh my god,
we have a
so
caller.
many callers.
We have a caller who called in last time and left the stream before we could talk to them. So maybe we should jump. I'm sorry to the person we're jumping in the queue, but should we jump to this person?
Yeah, let's jump to this person. Even though I already gave them an order, but in the
I'm
private
not sure what
chat.
you mean, but so
In the
let's.
private chat, right?
Oh, I see.
It's fine. Let's talk to this person before they leave. Let's talk to Julius.
Hello. Hello.
Hi, Julius.
Hey, Julius.
Hey.
Welcome
Hey,
back.
guys. Yeah, thanks. I had some technical difficulties last time. Love your show.
Thank
gripes. I have a couple big ones. I moved to Berlin a
Great.
couple
I mean,
years ago.
how big though?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it involves DHL, so
Tiny.
huge.
It's tiny.
Tiny.
Yeah, no, it's a gripe for me was how they would leave these packages with the neighbor without even making the attempt to contact me. I'm at home all day. They leave a message that they try to reach me. My name is clearly
Oh,
on
God.
the bell, and then I have to go to bother the sweet old lady downstairs to get my packages. Never fails.
Oh
And
my
the poor
God.
woman, she opens her door and I see this mountain of boxes there. So I'm not the only one.
Man.
Julius,
So-
I feel you like totally. Like
Everyone's
in fact,
had
like,
that.
Since I come like to the States, just the fact that they just leave the packages there out the door and nobody cares, it's so much better. Like I think my life did not progress in 6 years in Berlin just because I was afraid of like sending things to my apartment. Like I honestly like my life has changed so much for the better because I'm able to send stuff to myself. Like it's incredible.
Do you know what the operative word is, though, there, Julius? It's downstairs. Your neighbor is downstairs. So these lazy fuckers,
Yeah,
they can't be bothered to
exactly.
go up the
That's it.
stairs. They don't care if you're
Yeah.
in. They just care that you're up stairs.
That's it.
I
That's
find this
true.
very relatable and very frustrating. But as someone who worked from home before the pandemic, I was the person collecting packages for the people who were out in my apartment building for a long
Just
time.
your doorbell ringing day and night.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a gripe and a half.
It's a nightmare. The only solution to this problem is everyone has to sign packages. I think maybe is how we do this. It's like,
but how come Americans are capable of leaving the packages out of their doors? Like,
I mean, I think you just haven't
in comparison to Germany. You would think Germany is like more civilized society. Like they would have that.
It's surprising that you don't just have a lot of package theft, though.
I think they do, but like, then again,
but it's at what cost, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, wow,
that was a very good one. That was a very good
hot topic. Hot topic.
But what really impressed me though about DHL, I mean, they are so dedicated. I saw one guy standing underneath a balcony, looking at the box in his hand, looking up at the balcony. You could clearly see what he was thinking. I didn't have enough time to wait for him to toss it back up, toss it over into the balcony. I was on the way to work, but I was expecting him to try to shoot that launch that package onto the poor guy's balcony.
I think we should encourage this. I think that would be impressive if that's what he
But
did.
what's even worse, right, is when you're in and it goes to the depot and it's like the depot that is 2 kilometers away. And it's like, what kind of a piece of shit do you have to be to knowingly let that happen?
Yeah, to allow such
just because you can't be bothered to go up a few stairs, just fucking sling it on the ground. I would prefer that. It's only just some bullshit I bought because I was sad anyway. Like a little penknife or something.
Yeah. Julius, thank you so much for this.
Thank you.
This call. This was
Cheers.
really great.
Cheers.
Glad to talk to you. Cheers.
Awesome talk.
Thank you.
Very good. That was, I think, easily the most inspiring one we
fuming now.
We did.
Yeah.
So we have
we have some really, really great comments. Just I continue stopping. I guess like my internet is bad again. So we have a couple of interesting comments. Amanda says, and I'm trying to show it. I don't understand why they assume your neighbors aren't your nemesis. That's a
they are your fucking nemesis. After half your packages are gone there all the time.
But I think this is a very fair point. I think you shouldn't make an assumption that everyone has a friendly relationship with their neighbors in the first place, and that there might not be some ulterior motive for taking someone's package.
Yeah. Also, in other comments, Katinskaya said, "Oh yes."
Oh yes. So that we agree with. We support.
Thank you to whatever they were responding.
Yeah. And then realistically, she also was 15 kilograms dog food taken from the depot 3 kilometers away with no public transport around. Nightmare. But that's a bigger gripe, I think. When we get to when we move beyond the package from the neighbors, we're moving into big gripe territory, I think.
That's just just a sad dog.
Yeah, we still have
a
this
sad person.
Okay, well, we've got a lot of colors.
Okay, so we have
going.
More. Yeah.
Nacho, what were you saying?
Yeah, let's get our next caller on the line. Our next caller is a friend of ours, also like friend of the show that has called before. Our friend Richard Killian. Hey, Richard, you're on the line.
Hi, Richard.
Big fan.
Thank you, Richard. That's very kind of you. How are you? How are you doing?
Long-time fan. I'm doing pretty well, although. Let me just say that I'm really liking minor gripe as a better phrase than first world problems, which I've always found kind of a
Sorry to correct you though. Tiny gripe.
Tiny gripes, right? Even better. Yeah. Tiny gripes, better than first world problems.
Don't try and editorialize this now.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry. My memories. Yeah. And I have a non-food related one.
Yay.
As what I've been doing. Through this pandemic is trying to grow my hair longer than I ever have before to be like my idols, Trevor and Nacho of Double
I guess I'm doing the same thing at the moment. I've never had my hair this long, Richard.
Nacho's letting
actually
Nacho had.
Like, yeah, I'm your idol actually.
For watchers, viewers that don't know, Nacho used to have very, very long hair. So
My hair
Caroline's
is pretty
hair is
freaking long these
too.
days. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
see?
like it this long, but
Yeah,
there it is.
Caroline's that's very long hair. So I'm trying to get it to that point. I think long hair is cool these days. I was told that I although my stylist was very against it. First, so that's a tiny gripe I didn't think of. Why is my stylist giving an opinion? You know, like they're always like, "What do you want? Like, what do you want me to do?" And then I said so, and then she's like, "Oh no, I can't do that. You're not going to look good with long hair."
That's
like,
you
well,
should
why'd you
probably
ask?
take their advice, don't you
Yeah,
think? 'Cause it's
probably,
like their
but-
job, you know.
Well, to wit, since I've had long hair, and maybe it's the masks, maybe it's how I dress, and maybe it's that I'm in France, but I've been getting a lot of "Bonjour, Madame." Like as soon as I go into a place.
Don't you still have that beard?
Yeah, well,
You had
it's
a-
under the mask though.
Oh, the mask. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, like and people just see the hair, and like before, and then they sort of apologize, as if it's a big deal, which it's not. It's a tiny gripe.
This says a lot about French society, I think, though. Probably.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure that it happened in Berlin, and I don't know if that's because Berlin has a lot of people with long hair anyway, like a lot of, cool people that have long hair, and like here, like men will typically have it shorter, I think.
Yeah. No, I mean to say maybe it's more of a thing of where it's like you have to greet the person and automatically assume their gender within the first sentence.
Yes.
Right.
But here's the thing. It's evolved, and it evolved this morning. I ordered a coffee, and the guy was, he did the usual, well, not the usual, it doesn't always happen. He did, "Bonjour, madame," and I was like, I was like, okay, yeah, that's fine. I ordered my coffee, so then, yeah. Hey, it's 2021, gender's, fluid, whatever. And I ordered the coffee.
Don't say it
and
so dismissively.
Yeah, fluid, whatever.
No.
Too many pronouns, trust me, but yeah.
I didn't say that. So I actually spoke, and I mean, I don't have the deepest of voices. I'm not Johnny Cash, but like, I did speak to him. I said I would like a coffee, and then he asked me what kind, and I answered, and then like I gave him we were having a conversation, and then he was like, "Thank you, madame." Merci. And then when the coffee was ready, he told his coworker "Hey, give the lady, give the dame her coffee." I was like, "Okay, now you're taking it it was
That's
heightened."
insane. I mean, you're not. I don't know. You don't have a particularly girlish light face.
No, it's not. That's why it's a tiny gripe, because it's sort of, I just don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, I understand this being a frustrating situation, but I think it purely comes down to the fact that why do these people need to say that to you at all? That, to me, this makes no sense. I've never said "excuse me, madam" or "excuse me, sir."
Yeah, why not
And I
hi?
respect people. I respect some people. I show formality at times, but I never
You're
need
right.
to do that.
Yes, it's very old-fashioned to do that. It's just as simply
old-fashioned.
as an old-fashioned, very way to formal way to greet someone.
Absolutely.
I have to say, Richard, you have opened a can of worms in the chat. You have a bunch of comments. I'm just hearing the intro song to Beauty and the Beast with everyone popping out of their windows saying "Bonjour, madame," but instead of Belle is Richard. Also, Josh Telson is saying we're all going to greet Richard with a "Bonjour, madame"
Bonjour, madame.
from now on. And Amanda King says, "Hold the phones. Richard isn't Johnny Cash."
Johnny Cash. Yeah.
Gripes.
Yeah,
I've had a few.
That's a good one. Good one, Rich.
Wait, that's Sinatra.
Do the rest of the song.
Yeah.
Do the rest of the song.
Wait a minute. What reference did you just try to make that made no sense whatsoever?
Sinatra also has a deep baritone. It was the first thing that came to mind.
Yeah, but it's his name is Frank Sinatra, not even his name is not Johnny
Trevor!
Sinatra. Or
Well, I
something.
Trevor, don't try to rationalize it. It works. It's a joke. It's funny.
No, I don't know.
The gripe
about
of
that.
fire. The gripe of
Gripe of fire doesn't work. The ring of gripes? I don't know.
I see that gripe is coming. It's rolling around the bend.
Doesn't seem as good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Grapes, I've had a few, and they're not always about food.
All around me, I see masky faces. I mean, I know that wasn't really a song, but he sang it.
Yeah.
Can I?
All right. Well,
I don't
I
have time for a second grape, right?
No, I think we're running out of time, unfortunately.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
that was
Thank you
a
for
great
having
story.
me. Thank you
Off
for having
That was
me.
Yeah, really
Yeah.
fun. Obama them.
Bye, Richard.
Oh
Thank
my
you.
God. Richard Kim, really funny. Wow, we're almost
a
close to
pleasure.
the end of the show.
Yeah, it flew by tonight.
Yeah,
I
and
think
with
that means we have one caller left, so I think it means time for the last call before that last call, right, Nacho?
right, yeah, it's that moment before like the bar is closing in and we have our last conversation. It's the time for the actual drink, the last call drink with Bar Cam. Hey, Cam.
Hey guys,
I can.
Yeah.
you hear me okay? I'm in the headphone things today.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, great. So, I have a lot of gripes. I will say, in general, this life as I age, I'm becoming a more bitter person. So for today, I wanted to make a very bitter drink.
Yeah, I gotta say right away, your T-shirt it fits the theme perfectly.
Fuck your face.
I don't think you choose your outfits before you do the show based on the theme whatsoever. I haven't noticed that.
No, I just live my life like in a flow, and I think it just happens to align so well with this show.
Yeah.
I redid my hair since last time. The perm wasn't working.
Yeah.
out.
I think it looks great, by the way. I think you did a good job.
Oh, thank you. So I was between two things. A cocktail with just a shitload of bitters in it called a Trinidad Sour, or a cocktail called a Bitter Giuseppe because it has bitter in the name. And I have everything for both. But, I think I'm going to do a Trinidad Sour because I feel like it. We can
Yeah,
go
there's
down
a Trinidad Sour sounds good. There's something, something very exciting about that name.
Can I ask a question that I know I could Google? Is like what is bitters? Is that like the pith from citrus or?
So bitters. In this case, I'm going to use an ounce of Angostura bitters, and it's going to take me a while to get it out. So bitters are people compare them to the seasoning in food. Bitters are the seasoning in a cocktail. So it's a very intense extraction. It usually has some very bitter elements like gentian root or wormwood or something like that. And it's like adding a little spice, some interesting depth of flavor to your cocktails. So that was an ounce of Angostura bitters, which for something with, normally just have a couple of dashes. We're going to do an ounce of Orgeat, which I think how you say it. I'm not French. Orgeat is...
Ask Richard.
It's a nut syrup. It's typically almond. And an ounce of Orgeat.
Nice.
Maybe 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice. I cut myself while getting a little peel off this lemon for the presentation,
Well,
which I think is
don't get lemon
no.
juice. Don't get lemon juice on your cut, or you will have a minor gripe.
Yeah. You'll have a little screaming fit.
What's with that anyway? What's with minor cuts?
I did a major cut actually recently, but you can't see it anymore.
Oh wow, I can see it.
Oh wait. Yeah, look at that.
We're doing
Went
half
pretty
an
deep.
hour.
I can't. Look how deep that went. Woo, baby.
Yikes.
Major cut. Yeah. It's getting better.
What was the boost, Cam?
That was rye whiskey. You could use 100 proof because otherwise this is going to be kind of a low proof cocktail. Although actually, I have no idea how alcoholic these Angostura bitters are. Oh, they're 44.7%. So
how is 100 proof not just like rubbing alcohol?
So 100 proof is half or double the alcohol amount. Right, 100 proof is 50% alcohol by volume, which is the way we do it here in the United States, and it's a leftover from back in the day when there was a different tax level for different levels of alcohol. Right, so if it was alcoholic enough to light on fire, it was considered overproof and it got taxed at a higher level. And it just turns out that that at 100% proof was about 50% alcohol. They used to use a slightly different number, and then they just made it easier because there were a bunch of different versions.
Wow.
So with that, we're gonna shake it up.
Maybe while he's doing that, we can go to some comments here really quick. Minna with a very, very nice comment. Minna says, "Please don't stop the show. This was my week's highlight." Minna, that's very, very kind of you.
That's so nice. You're too kind.
Yeah, and good news is that the show may end tonight, but it will be back next week with just the same kind of concept. So don't worry. Oh, that looks so good.
George FK says bitters are like Jägermeister, but good. Georg, sorry.
I went through a phase where I didn't mind Jägermeister.
I like it cold.
Yeah,
cold
sure.
Jaeger.
I think people discount it too much when in reality it's not that different than like an Italian a bitter Amaro, but just like very, very German. It's just an association with bro culture.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is I have no idea.
Look at that.
This came out like that.
The color is incredible.
Oh, it looks like an espresso martini. Wow. My favorite.
Right. Yeah. No, it's just like deep red. We'll go to Nacho. Let's see how.
Right.
Cam's gonna bring that over Nacho. Thank you, Cam. Yeah. So Nacho is like the luckiest person in the world. He gets this every single week, Caroline. He gets a new drink.
He's in the same room.
Yeah. Look at that magic, right?
Just like magic.
Let's see.
Ooh, it's kind of like, I think people can't tell, but it's like slightly pinkish in the foam.
Looks brown to me. No one cares.
Oh yeah.
I am
That's
dying
smooth.
to try some of these drinks.
Why is it so smooth?
It's surprisingly good for something that's mostly bitters, but you get Angostura has a lot of those.
I'm liking this one,
like
guys.
spicy notes. I think the orgeat syrup has a really great mouthfeel.
Yeah, I think the orgeat gives it a little bit of a mouthfeel. Like it feels like almost like
velvety.
Velvety, yeah.
Well, thank you, Cam. That's amazing.
Mind blowing.
Yeah.
Great cocktail.
So this has been a very full show. We're even running a little over. So I think we should take our last final caller, and then let's give it up for our last caller tonight, Herman Landgraf. Herman, thank you for joining us.
Good evening, and thank you very much for having me and allowing me the honor of closing your show tonight.
Yeah, thank you. Always happy to have anyone call.
Yeah, I have a gripe. I apologize. I am addressing you and the entire internet tonight in what is not my native tongue.
You're very fluent to me.
Where are you from, Herman?
I am in Berlin. I am from Berlin, born and raised. I drive a bus here. My friend Dennis Glück introduced me to the expat culture in Berlin, and I have since been following a lot of your shows, first time caller.
Herman, I just want to say thank you. I remember, yes, you have been featured on the podcast that I produced on the Berlin Open Stage Show. Yes.
That is your podcast. I was not aware.
Yeah. Okay. It's so good to hear from you.
You were not there tonight, but it was a great experience. And now I have a gripe, which I would describe as a regular sized gripe, if that is okay. Not a minor gripe, but the reason is connected to my gripe, because as I said, I am not a native English speaker, so I looked up the word gripe on the Googles, and I found two definitions. The second is a gastric or intestinal pain. I assume that's not what the show is about, instead of the food still. So the definition that I think you are going with is a minor complaint. Now you see the minor is already in there. So a tiny gripe would be a tiny minor complaint. It would be so small that you wouldn't even notice it. You might aptly describe it as an atomic size of a gripe. So My gripe is that I would suggest that what we've heard tonight were actually just regular gripes, not tiny gripes. So,
Do you have an example then of a tiny gripe?
well, as I said, it would be so small that you wouldn't
small.
even be able. You are asking me right now, do you have an example of a molecule? You see?
Huh. But like a molecule that
can
kind of pisses you off?
I can think of molecules, but I wouldn't be able to see them.
Huh.
I will say, since you asked, there are a lot of molecules that annoy me. Because I don't know how familiar you are with physics, but or chemistry in that sense, but we are all made of molecules. So every person, every thing, any idea, even because ideas are made from impulses in neurons, which are made from molecules. So anything that has ever annoyed you comes down to annoying molecules.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's so deep. Now, Herman, if I'm not mistaken, you're a bus driver, correct?
Yes, I drive the M41 bus.
That's what I thought.
Yes, I listen to the Boss podcast a lot while I drive. I mean, we are technically not supposed to listen to the radio while driving, but at this point, I have essentially become one with the bus. I don't even need to think about it anymore.
Are you driving right now?
I am currently approaching Geigerstraße. Yes.
Oh wow. Well, I mean, I think you've inspired us a lot tonight. I think I appreciate your
the feeling
your
is
correction
mutual.
of the gripe.
No,
I know that you're a bus driver, but like these ideas you have about physics and molecules, I mean, you should really get them down. I mean, at least get a Medium article up.
Well, that's why I participate in shows like this one. And I think if you listen to the Boss podcast, you will notice that to me, the bus driving, it is much more than just propelling a vehicle filled with flesh and bone along the night. You know, when I drive my bus, I'm having a date with eternity. I'm learning every second. Now, like I'm speaking with you right now, it's hey, Türbereich freigeben da hinten. Excuse me.
Yeah.
There was a
Aaron, I
person.
think maybe you need to keep your eyes on the road, perhaps. I'm not sure.
As I said, my eyes at this point, my eyes have become one with the road. You do not need to worry.
Right.
Maybe you should.
But I would imagine as a bus
off.
driver that you must have like a lot of gripes, right?
I have
With
many
your clientele.
gripes, for sure. I have many gripes. There are people talking to me, although there is a sign forbidding that expressively. And although there is no sign prohibiting people from talking amongst themselves on the bus, they still annoy me very much every time. But yet I'm thankful for that, because what would the life be without all the annoyances that make us who we are?
I feel like puts the perfect button on the show. I mean, what would life be without the tiny annoyances? That's like exactly the theme.
Yeah.
There you had it.
Herman, thank you so much for calling.
Oh, I thank you. I thank you for having me.
Beautiful. Got a real Werner Herzog vibe from him.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
Very deep thinker.
Deep.
Yeah, deep thinker. There's some aggressiveness in the voice, you know. But yeah, what an amazing call. We had a comment from Josh saying that he has a gripe with Herman's bus line, which is famously a very, very important bus line in Neukölln.
Yeah. So this is the end of the show. Caroline, thank you so much for
having
joining
me.
us.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Really good. I almost can't think of any gripes now because
I
just had such an entertaining
released.
hour. Yeah. Really good. Thanks so much. It's been real fun.
Thank you.
It's been great having you. I'm happy that it was a gripe quenching show.
It's great, and so many callers, so many different interesting people, and
we had a lot of perspectives tonight.
It was awesome, really good, and the comments were fantastic. Great show, guys.
Thank you to everyone who commented, even if you didn't call. Call in next time if you commented. Some people are regular commenters, and we would love to chat with them in more detail. And also, if you want to help out Comedy Cafe Berlin during this time while it is closed, you can make a donation at comedycafeberlin.com/donate, which is at the bottom there. I don't know why I always have trouble with that part. Bottom there. Or you can buy some merch. There's a great merch for people of all ages. And yeah, that's our show. Thank you, Caroline.
Very well.
That is our show.
Thank you. Thanks for having
we'll
me.
We'll be here next Sunday with another call time, another topic, and more calls. So thanks everyone for calling in.
Bye.
Have a good Sunday.